Welcome to PsychEd. Today, we're going to break down one of the core assumptions of the cognitive approach in psychology, the computer analogy. Let's dive into what this analogy means and how it helps us understand how our mind processes information. So, what is the computer analogy? Simply put, the cognitive approach compares the human mind to a computer. Just like a computer processes information, stores it, and retrieves it, our minds do something very similar. Let's break it down further. A computer takes in input through a keyboard or a mouse. Similarly, we take in information through our senses, what we see, hear, touch, taste, and smell. Next, the computer processes the data it receives. Our brain does the same thing with the information it collects. This processing might involve organizing the information, making decisions, or even solving problems. Finally, the computer gives you an output, like displaying an image on the screen or printing out a document. For us, the output could be something like answering a question, making a choice, or simply remembering something. Now, this analogy isn't perfect. After all, our brains are much more complex than computers. But it gives us a useful framework to understand how cognitive psychologists think about mental processes. A great example of how this analogy works in practice is the multi-store model of memory, which was proposed by Atkinson and Shiffrin in 1968. This model explains how information flows through different stages of memory. In this model, information first enters our sensory memory. This is the input through our senses. From there, information is processed through paying attention and moves into short-term memory. Finally, with enough rehearsal or practice, information is transferred into long-term memory. Think of this like saving a file to a computer's hard drive. It's stored there, and you can retrieve it later when you need it. The process of retrieval would be the output. So, just like a computer has different parts for processing and storing data, the multi-store model shows how our brain handles information in different stages. And that's the essence of the computer analogy. To recap, the cognitive approach likens the brain to a computer, taking in information, processing it, and generating an output. The multi-store model of memory gives us a concrete example of how this analogy works, showing how we move information through our sensory, short-term, and long-term memory. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest psychology videos.